Hey, welcome everyone to a special edition of Story Trading. We got the CEO of Midatech Pharma here, ticker symbol MTP, Steven Stamp. We'll come to him in just a minute. But first, we just got to go over a couple housekeeping notes. We got our disclaimer for you. Story Trading is not an investment advisor. Investing in securities involves significant risk of loss. Story trading, for those of you who don't know, is the practice of understanding market pricing, aka the story behind the trade through the lens of our four pillars of fundamentals, catalysts, sentiment, and technicals. We're a collaborative investment community. We collaborate on WhatsApp and on Zoom. We have an app coming up on Apple and Android stores, which will be the place to discover, collaborate, and validate market-moving information through crowdsourced research and social collaboration. Make sure to sign up for our upcoming app release at StoryTrading.com. We have a number of VIP picks in our community. Today's is not officially yet a VIP pick. It's just going to be an introduction to MTP. One second. And with that, we got, that's again, Midatech Pharma, MTP, last traded $1.20. Market cap is $15 million. I just looked up the enterprise value is only $9 million. It's a nanotechnology drug delivery company. Again, the CEO is Steven Stamp. Before we turn it over to him, here's a quick look at the chart. And you know what we do here through our collaboration, we aim to get information on the four pillars of sentiment, catalysts, fundamentals, and technicals to be able to understand the story behind the trade and make better informed trade and investment decisions. So with that, Steven, welcome to the show. I'm going to turn it over to you for some introductory comments.
Thank you, Ben, and good afternoon, everybody. Let me just share my screen here. Pleased to be with you this afternoon. I'm CEO of Midatech Pharma. We are a biodelivery and biodistribution specialist company in the biotech sector. We are listed on NASDAQ in the US and the AIM market in London. I also have a disclaimer for you, which I will take as read with your permission. So we are based in South Wales, in Cardiff. We have about 22 employees, and we have a pilot scale lab there and some offices. In 2020, we switched up our strategy. Hitherto, we've been pretty much focused on developing one product, which was designed to be a knockoff of a Novartis product called Sandostatin. And when we came to do the analytics, we discovered actually we had rather a better product than theirs. And in fact, theirs was so random we couldn't copy it. So we switched up our strategy. Instead of focusing on one product, we expanded our pipeline to the 9 products you see on the chart here. And the thinking behind that was a sort of portfolio theory. By expanding the portfolio, we'd have more chances of success, recognizing we are going to give up quite a lot of the upside because we're going to partner these programs off sooner rather than later once we have proof of concept. So let me talk you through the program, starting with our clinical stage product called MTX114. There is a cancer therapy called panobinostat, which is on the market under the brand name Feridac, and it is approved for multiple myeloma. The problem with panobinostat, it is inherently insoluble, so it has to be taken orally. So what we did was applied our MidaSolve technology to panobinostat and made it into something soluble that can be injected. We then took that liquid and deployed it with a catheter and a pump to deliver the liquid panobinostat directly into the brain, into the tumor in the brain of patients with brain cancer. And our lead program here is in an indication called glioblastoma multiforme, or GBM. It is an intractable cancer. Once the diagnosis has been made, typical treatments are with lomustine and followed by resection and radiation. It always recurs, and survival ranges between 13 and 30 months. And I must tell you, this has been something of a graveyard for big pharma. Many companies have tried to address this area. None of them have had much success. The reason we think we may have some success is that we have tested panobinostat in our formulation with 5 different patient-derived cell lines, as illustrated in these graphs on the chart here. And we have been able to demonstrate in vitro, that's in lab experiments, that we can reduce the tumor volume and achieve 100% cell death at therapeutic concentrations. So there's a nice indicator there. The real advantage to our system is that we bypass the blood-brain barrier. And as you may know, the blood-brain barrier is very effective at keeping toxins, including drugs, out of the brain. We bypass it with our catheter system, and we're able to get about 100,000 times the concentration of drug in the brain than you would get if you took the product orally. So we're quite hopeful for this program. We received an IND, which is the green light from the FDA to proceed with our phase 1 study in the middle of December last year. And we've got a couple of regulatory filings to make, and then we expect to start recruitment of that study towards the end of this first quarter of 2022. And we should have some early data sometime in the third quarter of this year. So that would be the first sort of validating milestone for our GBM program. We started studying MTX110 in something called diffuse intrinsic pons glioma, which is, or DIPG, which is the childhood form of brain cancer, ultra rare, only 1,000 patients a year. And we've actually already got phase 1 data for this program. The product was well tolerated, the same pump and catheter system. And we had overall survival of the patients, and there were only 7 in the study, of 12 months. And that compares in the, we had overall survival of 26 months, and that compares with 10 months in the background population. So we more than double the lifespan of these children. The FDA have said to us, if we can repeat that in a phase 2 study and demonstrate overall survival at 12 months, median survival, then they will look at an early approval for that product. So we should have those data sometime in the middle of 2023, once we finish the ongoing second phase 1 program. That would be a second sort of validating milestone for the company. So let's turn now to our Q-sphere programs. And this is a different technology. It is a technology that's designed to make injectable drugs last longer in the body, so they can deliver the drug over an extended period of time, maybe up to 6 months. And how we do that is we combine the drug with a solvent, which solubilizes it, and a polymer. And the typical polymer we use is something called PLGA, which is widely used in pharmaceuticals. It is biodegradable, so it just gets resorbed back in the body. So we combine the drug with the solvent and the polymer, and we print it using an industrial printhead or droplet generator. You can see that picture on the top left-hand side there. Those dots are the droplets, and they are fired into a continuous stream of anti-solvent, which is illustrated by the stream on the bottom of that picture. And when they collide, immediately are formed nice homogeneous microspheres. These are tiny little beadlets, typically from 20 to 50 microns across, and they're quite monodispersed. By that I mean they're the same size, and they each contain the same amount of drug. When those microspheres are injected into the body, they form a depot, and that depot then biodegrades over time and releases drug over an extended period of time. The beauty of that system is that you avoid the peaks and troughs of blood levels that you would get if you were to inject somebody, say, every day or every week or every month. You get a large peak followed by a trough, followed by a peak, followed by a trough. We're able to deliver nice, consistent blood levels. And that has clinical advantages, which I'll come back to in a second. So here's the product that we were trying to knock off. It's called sandostatin. On the right-hand side, you see individual patient blood levels of drug over an extended period of time. And what you see here is quite a significant initial burst of drug followed by a dip. And then frankly, the patients are all over the place. It's an awful lot of inter-patient variability. On the right, on the left-hand side is our product. We get much smaller burst release and then much greater consistency inter-patient. So we believe we have a better system than the one that's being currently used in the market. The problem is that these two products were not equivalent. And therefore our product would have required a full development program of about $30 million and the construction of a custom factory in Bilbao, Spain. At the time COVID had hit, we were able to raise money, and so we shut this program down and, as I said, reverted to the sort of multiple shots on goal strategy I referenced earlier. So one of those shots on goal is a product called Q-brexpiprazole. Q-brexpiprazole is one of the latest generation antipsychotic products. All the antipsychotic market has moved to long-acting products. They're either 1 month, 3 months, and there's even one 6-month product. Q-brexpiprazole is the only one that hasn't. And what we've been able to demonstrate with our formulation here, looking at the blue line, is that we can deliver nice, consistent blood levels of brexpiprazole over a 90-day or 3-month period, compared with the orange line, which represents the immediate release product. So we think we've got a nice formulation here. We are in discussions with some potential licensees for this product. I can't tell you that we've got a term sheet or anything like that as of today, but we are hopeful, and this would represent the third sort of validating opportunity for our company. The second of our in-house products is called tacrolimus. Tacrolimus is off patent and is used in anti-transplant rejection. And in that particular indication, and for this particular product, it is very important to maintain consistent blood levels. If you overdose the patient, then you oversuppress the immune system and they run the risk of infection. If you underdose the product, you run the risk of transplant rejection. Both of those are very poor outcomes for the patients. So it's very important to maintain drug levels within quite a narrow therapeutic window. This product probably needs one more iteration for our formulation team, but what we've been able to show here is we can probably deliver a 2-week product compared, or a potential 3-week product even, compared with the current oral formulation, which is 3 times daily, and also has quite a significant food interaction impact. So our product, of course, being an injectable, that would not be an issue. So that's another validating potential opportunity, but as I say, a bit further out because it needs one more iteration. The real big discovery we made in our company in the middle of last year was that, and we believe this is the world's first, we were able to formulate a large molecule, in particular a monoclonal antibody, using our Q-sphere technology. Nobody hitherto has been able to do this, probably because the manufacturing methods they use are quite vigorous, involve the use of shear forces, heat, or very toxic solvents, which have the effect of denaturing the protein. If you denature the protein, you smash it up, break it up, then it no longer works and does the job it's supposed to. Where our manufacturing methods, as I described earlier with the printheads, are quite benign. We only use class 3 solvents. We were actually able to encapsulate a protein, and these 3 charts demonstrate the work that we did. So the first chart on the left-hand side, we heat killed the protein, and then we measured its inhibition against an antigen. And what you're looking for is 100% inhibition. Well, the heat-controlled one, obviously, there was no inhibition because we killed it. The monoclonal antibody on its own without Q-sphere formulation got 100% inhibition, and then with Q-sphere formulation also got 100% inhibition, so that was a good sign. We then repeated the experiments at increasing concentrations, and we got quite a nice linear relationship as illustrated in this middle chart here, again, what you might have expected. And then lastly, we got quite a nice dissolution profile of active protein, not dead protein, over a 6-week period. So this potentially is quite a nice opportunity for our company. We need to find the right active pharmaceutical ingredient to work with. But just to give you a sort of sense, the top 10 monoclonal antibodies had sales of $75 billion in 2020, and the whole class in total had sales of over $150 billion. So this is a very big market, and we think there's some opportunities here to improve either current products or to team up with development partners to give products that are in development differentiator, of which Q-sphere long-acting delivery be one. All these products are currently administered through immediate release injections or infusions. So our third and last technology is called MidaCore, and this was actually the original foundation of the company. It's based on gold nanoparticles, typically 2 to 4 nanometers across, some of the smallest in clinical use. And we decided during the course of last year to re-energize this work because it had been put on the shelf for quite a while, and we decided to pick the lowest risk opportunity we could think of. And so what we decided to do was to use our gold nanoparticle technology in conjunction with a product called methotrexate, which is a well-characterized product and has significant anti-inflammatory properties. And we thought we'd test it in mild to moderate psoriasis. So if you look at the pictures on the right-hand side here, these are histology pictures of skin cross-sections of human skin grafted onto the back of mice. On the left-hand side, you have the sort of control or Vaseline, and you can see there's significant inflammation there of the psoriatic plaque. In the middle, you've got Divabet, which is the current standard of care, a little bit reduced inflammation. On the right-hand side was our early formulation of MTX114, our gold nanoparticles. So what the gold nanoparticles seem to be doing is transporting the methotrexate into the epidermis, and it's having quite nice anti-inflammatory impacts in these mice. We intend to repeat this experiment, and this too will be available for licensing sometime later this year. So that was a sort of quick run through of our 3 technologies. Our current financial situation is that we have about £10 million, about $13 million of cash on hand. With the 2 trials that we're planning with MTX110 and the experimental work with our Q-sphere program, we will have enough cash to take us deep into the first quarter of 2023. Our hope and expectation is that we would have a milestone from a licensing deal from one of those programs before then. So that was a quick run through. Thank you, Ben. I'll take any questions.
Hey, yeah, I appreciate that. So I'm trying to understand a little bit more of the technology. Is there like a unifying mechanism behind these 3 technologies, Q-sphere and MidaCore and MidaSolve? Are these all nanotechnology? Well, what's the commonality here, if there is one?
Yeah, thank you. No, they're not. They're quite different. Only MidaCore is a sort of a nano. I would say Q-sphere is a micro, and MidaSolve, which is the MTX110 technology, is more of a sort of a chemical piece of genius to convert insoluble products into a soluble product. The common theme is that we are delivering drug to the place in the body where it's most needed at the time it's most needed. That I'd say is the common theme. And we can either improve efficacy by, for example, delivering drug direct to a brain tumor, or we can inject our microspheres into tumors in all parts of the body and have them stay there, and then release drug over extended periods of time, which has an efficacy benefit. There is also a dosing benefit, as I explained, that we don't incur these peaks and troughs that you get with oral drugs or immediate release injection drugs. So those are the common themes, I would say.
Okay, all right, I got it. And I'm looking at your pipeline on your website. I see you have, you mentioned it, like tacrolimus. So you're working with are all of your programs that are already approved? These are already commercial drugs that you're taking and putting it into a different, better delivery system? Are these all commercialized drugs?
They are. So Q-brexpiprazole is on the market. It goes by the brand name Rexulti, and it's marketed by Astellas. Tacrolimus is, Otsuka, beg your pardon, Otsuka. Tacrolimus is on the market, goes by the brand name Prograf, and is marketed by Astellas. The other products, partnered ones, are development products, so they're not on the market yet. And of course, panabinostat is on the market, brand name Feridac, but it's on the market for a different indication than the one that we are pursuing. Hence, we need to repeat the clinical trials in our indication.
So the three ones here that say partnered, these are actually for new unapproved drug entities you're working with?
Correct. Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay. So is there anything you can tell us about the financial terms of those agreements?
So those are R&D collaborations. The partner, unfortunately, I'm not able to tell you the partner's name other than they are a very large global healthcare company. And if I said the name, you'd know it instantly. Well, you know, all sorts of reasons. So that's their proprietary programs is what we're working on.
Okay, and financially, how does that work?
Yeah, the financial terms are quite modest. So these are pre-licenses. They're kind of exploratory, and they're milestone based. And the latest program is just over £900,000. So that would be what, $1.2 million, something like that. And if we get to proof of principle that meets the needs of the partner, then our expectation would be that would then convert into a license, which would involve a more material upfront milestone and development payments along the way. And that's what we're working towards.
All right, got it. If you can walk me through another example here, let's pull one out. This panobinostat for glioblastomas, right? That one, it says you don't have a partner for that. So is the idea to partner with the current manufacturer of that drug? Is that who you're targeting for a possible partnership, or could it be with anybody?
No, we'll do it. No, so the drug is currently owned by a company called Secura Bio, and we would be looking to get a proof of principle data from our phase I program that I explained. We think if that data is positive, it would add very significant value to that program. And that would be the time then to find a partner. If we were to partner it off now, and actually we did have an approach from somebody, we wouldn't get the appropriate value for the program, and we'd be giving up too much of the upside. So given we have the cash to fund that study, we thought we would do that and then look for a partner.
Right, but it sounds like that partner doesn't necessarily have to be that company that. There's only one manufacturer for that drug. Is it off patent?
No, it's not off patent, but we have an alternative manufacturer, and we're going for a different indication. And by the time that the product is ready for market, it will be off patent.
Okay. And then did I hear you right? You said once you get the phase I data, after that is when you would seek a license?
Yes, because that GBM indication is sufficiently big. It's potentially a $3 to $5 billion opportunity because it's currently untapped. I can't put a definite number on it. But yes, we'd be looking for a partner then to take the program through a phase II and phase III program. Okay.
Great. So let me just understand big picture. You have enough cash to go through Q1 of 2023. So is the idea on all of these to get to phase I, complete phase I, and on the basis of that, find a partner? Is that the business plan here?
Not quite.
License.
So the real objective here is to get to what we're calling proof of concept. So when you're dealing with the same indication as the approved product, then all you need to do is come up with a formulation, because the clinical trials have already been done in humans in that indication. The difficulty with panabinostat is that we're pursuing a different indication from the approved indication, and therefore we've got to do a proof of principle trial with that one. See the difference?
Okay.
When we're switching up the indication, we've got to do a study to show that it works. When we're using the same indication, we just have to come up with a formulation.
Okay, so the ones that are the same indication, what's the business plan on those?
To get the formulations to proof of concept, like I just demonstrated with brexpiprazole. But we've got the nice 90-day pharmacokinetics, and then partner those off. And as I said, we've already started the conversation with brexpiprazole. Tacrolimus will be the next one.
So that's even the proof of concept is even before a phase 1 trial. So once you have this preclinical data, you're in a position to go find a partner or to license that off. Is that right?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, so then does that mean, as I look, and anyone can do this, you can go to the pipeline, you go to MidatechPharma.com and click on pipeline later on when you want to look at this. So when we're looking at all of these that have that blue bar all the way up to preclinical already, are you saying that at any point in time, talk to me about timelines a second. Does this mean you could at any time now have a partner or a license, or are there additional things you need to do to get to that point to monetize this?
Right. So brexpiprazole is ready. We're already in discussions. Okay.
Okay.
So I can't promise it's going to happen. I can't promise the terms, but we've got some discussions ongoing. Tacrolimus needs one more iteration. So that's probably another 3 months before that'll be ready for partnering. The partnered programs or collaborated programs, the 3 of them, they've commissioned some work. They will probably require a bit more work, and that if the partner wants to move ahead with those programs. The problem with the partner programs is that we're not in control, so we can't decide whether to move it forward or not to move it forward, or the timelines. It's completely at their behest, but we've got a ready-made customer there. If they decide to move ahead, I think that will probably be towards the tail end of this year. We will have, then moving down, we will have MTX114 data, phase 1 in GBM, probably late 3rd quarter of this year. So that would be another trigger point for partnering off. We won't have phase 2 data for DIPG probably until late in next year.
Is there a difference? Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Is there a difference when you say partner versus license? Talk. How's that work?
I'm not helping you by mixing up the terms. So to me, a collaboration is we'll pay you as a $1.3 million, which will be 4 times your overhead and to do the work. That's nice, but it's not going to make anybody very rich. A license is a $5 to $10 million milestone, and with a license you get access to our technology, and that also brings with it future milestones plus royalties. We're not at that stage with any of our programs as of today.
Okay, so so you're not at that stage. So you're looking now for partners on these?
Okay, so brexpiprazole, we're looking for a licensed partner. We're looking to license that product. Tacrolimus, we need 3 months. MTX110, we need 9 months.
For licenses.
For licenses, yes.
Okay, and those are the more lucrative deals. You're talking about 5 to 10 million plus royalties, something like that along those lines.
That's it. Yes, we've already got partnerships, collaboration partnerships for those 3 programs in Q-stereo, including the protein that I referenced.
Okay, all right. I think I got the picture here. All right,
Sorry,
so no, that's good. We're learning about this for the first time. So, I have a kind of big picture question for you. If you could tell me, I looked at the stock chart. I have data since 2016, 6 years. So I don't know if that's how long you've been around, but can you give a quick history of how long you've been around and what's happened to date, some challenges, or if there's been any change in direction? Just a quick summary of the history of the company would be great.
Sure. I haven't been around that long. I came in September 2019. So the company IPO'd in December of 2014. And I think it IPO'd on the back of the gold nanoparticle technology, which probably wasn't as advanced as everybody hoped it was. And they had to sort of take a couple of steps backwards. So that wasn't a great start. And then they decided to remodel the company as a specialty pharma company, it's called, where you buy older, tired drugs from big pharma, put a sales force behind them, reinvigorate them, and then work on, Me Too type variations of those products in development. So quick and dirty stuff. They bought a company in the US called Dara Biosciences. It was supposed to contribute cash and profits, help fund the pipeline. They had some old products in cancer, adjunct therapies in cancer. And the idea was eventually that would be the sales and marketing outlet when things came out of the pipeline. As it happens, the company made losses from the outset, and the losses got bigger and never contributed any cash. In fact, it sucked cash out of the company and was sold at a significant loss in November 2018. So that probably explains the start of the slide of the stock price. And then the company looked around for the next nearest product or most advanced product at the time, which was this MTD201, the knockoff of the Novartis product I was talking about. And then we had to kill that because we just couldn't fund it. And we only had one egg in the basket at that point. So then the CEO left and I took over in March, and we went for this multiple shots on goal strategy, hoping to get a partnership in the next couple of years. Well, we're now a year on. So we need to get more 18 months on. We now need to get a partnership in the next 6 to 9 months. A license in the next 6 to 9 months to validate the model.
I like that pressure. I always perform best when I'm under pressure.
Right.
6 to 9 months. All right, that's great. We have a question from the chat here. Okay, it looks like it was already answered. He just wanted some expectations as far as the next 12 months in terms of cash requirements and also in terms of catalysts. I think we covered that, right? You got enough cash to take you into 2023, and the catalysts we talked about. The most near term, if I make any mistakes, Stephen, let me know, is going to be that Q-brexpiprazole, a licensed partner that could happen at any time, right? Between now and the next 6 months, right? Yep. And then besides that, what are some other immediate catalysts maybe in the next 1 to 2 quarters?
Well, there's tacrolimus, which is running 3 months behind that.
Right.
And then we have data coming out of MTX114 trial in GBM in the 3rd quarter.
Okay, cool. That sounds good. And let me ask you something. If you don't get a partnership here in the next 6 months, then what happens?
Then I think we will have to sort of think of something else. So we, maybe merge with another company. Maybe we'll just do a fundraise on unattractive terms. Okay, fair enough. It's a good story. I think we got an awesome summary, big picture here for everybody. We'll send word back. We'll send this recording to our crew. Get this up on social media next week. Was there any other topics you wanted to cover, Stephen? Not from me, thank you. All right, excellent. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you coming here. We learned a lot. And for everyone else, Stephen, hopefully we'll talk to you again in the future when you have some awesome news to share. Great. Thanks a lot, Ben. All right. Great. Thank you. For everyone else, if you can hang on just 1 second, I want to go over a couple other things. And then, VIP events, and we'll hang on after this, do a little bit of chat on stocks if you'd like. But VIP events coming up. We got Identiv CEO speaking tomorrow, Wednesday, 4:30 p.m. to us. Great company. It's been just going straight up for 2-3 years. We've talked to the CEO many times. And then Thursday, we're talking to the CEO of REL Technologies, RELL. This is a very promising company we're considering as a VIP pick. So you want to stay tuned and probably attend that one. That's probably going to be the most exciting one of the week. Make sure you're following us on YouTube and on Twitter. And with that, thank you, everyone. We're going to turn off the recording and have a little chit chat with everyone. Thank you.